One moment you're sipping your morning coffee, the next your arm won't move. Your words won't come out, no warning, no pain, just gone. As a brain doctor, I've seen this heartbreaking moment far too often, especially in people over 60, and surprisingly, it's not always caused by fast food, smoking, or lack of exercise. Sometimes it's caused by fruit. Yes, fruit. The very thing we've always believed is healthy can quietly raise your risk of stroke if you're not careful. Certain fruits, especially when eaten in large amounts at the wrong time or with age-related sensitivities, can spike your blood pressure, throw off your blood sugar, or even encourage clot formation. Your body after 60 handles sugar, potassium, and acids differently than it used to. What used to be harmless might now be risky without you even knowing it. Have you ever felt dizzy after a sweet fruit snack or lightheaded after drinking juice? You're not alone. That's why today we're breaking down 9 everyday fruits that may secretly increase your risk of stroke overnight. Some of them are probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Let me know in the comments which of these fruits you eat most often. And don't forget to subscribe to Health 365 for simple, life-saving tips every week. Let's start with the most surprising one on the list. They're sweet, bite-sized, and feel like the perfect healthy snack. You can enjoy them fresh, frozen, or dried in your cereal or snack mix. But here's the part most people don't realize. For older adults, grapes can quietly raise your risk of stroke, especially when eaten often or in large portions. Why? Because grapes are packed with natural sugar, especially fructose. After 60, our bodies aren't as efficient at processing sugar. The insulin response slows down and the sugar sits in the bloodstream longer than it used to. This can lead to spikes in blood sugar that damage blood vessel walls, promote inflammation, and create the perfect environment for blood clots. Even more concerning, raisins, just a small handful of dried grapes, contains more sugar than most desserts. And unlike whole fruit, dried fruit has no water content to slow absorption and no fiber to blunt the impact. That means sugar hits your system fast, causing rapid shifts in your glucose and blood pressure. These sugar surges, especially if they happen repeatedly, don't just affect your energy levels. They increase pressure in your arteries, reduce blood flow efficiency, and make it easier for clots to form, putting your brain directly at risk. If you love grapes, the good news is you don't have to give them up entirely, but it's worth being mindful of how much and when you're eating them. Pair them with a little protein or healthy fat to slow the sugar spike. And avoid eating them first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Now, let's talk about another favorite that seems safe, but might be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes in a bottle. It's often the go-to drink when you're feeling lightheaded or just want something refreshing. It feels gentle, familiar, and healthy, especially when the label says 100% juice. But what most people don't realize is that apple juice behaves very differently in your body compared to a whole apple. When you eat a fresh apple, you're getting fiber, water, and nutrients that work together to slow down how sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream. That helps prevent sudden spikes in blood sugar and keeps your energy more stable, but juice is stripped of all that. What's left is mostly liquid sugar, absorbed quickly and with almost no resistance. For someone over 60, that fast sugar load can cause sharp blood sugar swings and push your pancreas into overdrive. These quick spikes, followed by rapid drops, can stress your cardiovascular system, leading to inflammation in blood vessels and increased pressure in the arteries. Over time, that's a dangerous recipe for strokes, and here's the tricky part. Because it's liquid, it's easy to drink more than you think. A glass here, a refill there, and suddenly you've taken in as much sugar as a soda without realizing it. Even no sugar-added juices can cause this effect because fruit sugar in large amounts is still sugar. If you enjoy apple flavor, try eating a whole apple instead. Or dilute your juice with water to reduce the impact. It's a simple switch that your brain and heart will thank you for. Now let's move on to a tropical fruit that might be sitting on your kitchen counter. Sweet, sunny, and far more acidic than it seems. It's bright, tropical, and feels like sunshine in a bowl. Many older adults enjoy it chilled or canned, thinking it's a refreshing, healthy treat. But what you may not know is that pineapple, while rich in vitamin C, can also be surprisingly harsh on your body, especially after 60. Pineapple is naturally high in both sugar and acid. That combination can irritate your stomach, throw off your digestion, and cause blood sugar to rise quickly, especially if you eat it on an empty stomach or in large amounts. The acidity may also trigger inflammation in the lining of your gut, which can affect how nutrients are absorbed and how stable your blood pressure stays. And that's not all. The natural sugar in pineapple, mainly fructose, is rapidly absorbed, sending a surge of glucose into your system. For older adults with slower metabolism and more delicate blood vessels, this sudden sugar load can put unnecessary pressure on the heart and brain. Over time, these surges may damage artery walls, promote clotting, and increase the risk of stroke. Canned pineapple adds another layer of concern. It often comes soaked in syrup, packing in even more sugar than fresh slices. Even if it says light syrup, the impact can be strong, especially if you're already managing blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar. If you love pineapple, you don't have to cut it out completely. Just be mindful of the portion and try to eat it with a small meal, not on its own. That one small habit can make a big difference in how your body responds. Now, let's look at a fruit often labeled a superfood. But even the healthiest things can turn risky in large amounts. They become a symbol of healthy eating in recent years, and with good reason. Avocados are packed with fiber, potassium, and heart-friendly fats. They support brain health, help lower bad cholesterol, and keep you feeling full. But here's the thing, even the healthiest foods can cause problems if you go overboard, especially as you get older. Avocados are high in monounsaturated fat, which is generally good for your heart. But if you're eating large amounts every day on toast, in salads, blended into smoothies, it can add up to a significant fat and calorie load. For a younger body, that's easier to process. But after 60, your metabolism slows and excess fat, even healthy fat, can begin to impact your cholesterol levels and blood pressure. And potassium, while essential for nerve and muscle function, can be tricky. Avocados are rich in potassium more than bananas. And if you have kidney issues, too much potassium can build up in your blood that can throw off your heart rhythm, increase blood pressure, and in some cases increase your risk of stroke. There's also the hidden issue of portion size. A whole avocado might seem harmless, but eating one every single day without adjusting the rest of your diet can quietly push your numbers in the wrong direction over time, especially if you're also eating other high-fat or high-potassium foods. The key balance: a few slices of avocado a few times a week is plenty to get the benefits without tipping into risky territory. Next, let's move from creamy to chewy, because the next fruit is often disguised as a healthy snack but delivers more sugar than most desserts. These little brown fruits are often called nature's candy, and for good reason. They're soft, sweet, and packed with natural sugars. Many older adults keep them on hand as a quick energy boost or a healthier alternative to cookies or candy, but when it comes to stroke risk, dates deserve a closer look. 1 or 2 dates may seem harmless, but just a few can add up to 20–30 g of sugar without any fiber to slow things down. And since they're so small, it's easy to eat more than you intended. That's where the problem starts. After 60, your body doesn't process sugar as efficiently. Blood sugar tends to rise faster and stay elevated longer, which places more pressure on your arteries and brain. When these sugar surges happen frequently, they increase inflammation in your blood vessels and raise the risk of clot formation. To major contributors to stroke, another thing to consider: dates are calorie dense. Just a handful can equal the calorie count of an entire meal. If you're trying to manage your weight, blood sugar, or blood pressure, this concentrated energy can throw things off balance, especially if it becomes a daily habit. And while dates do contain potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants, the high sugar content can overpower the benefits if you're not careful. They're best enjoyed occasionally in small portions and always paired with a bit of protein or fat to help balance the sugar load. Coming up next, we'll take a look at a fruit that's easy on the stomach for some, but can cause lightheadedness and circulation problems in others. Let's talk about papaya. It's often seen as a gentle, digestive-friendly fruit, and for many people, it's soft, low in acid, and rich in enzymes that support gut health. That's why papaya is especially popular among older adults dealing with constipation or indigestion. But even something that seems so mild can have surprising effects on your body. One of papaya's lesser-known traits is its ability to lower blood pressure. On the surface, that sounds like a good thing. But if your blood pressure is already on the low side, or if you're taking medications to manage it, papaya can push things too far. That drop in pressure might leave you feeling dizzy, weak, or lightheaded, especially if you stand up quickly or eat it on an empty stomach. For seniors, these moments of instability can be dangerous. A sudden loss of balance or a brief blackout could lead to a fall or worse, signal reduced blood flow to the brain. Over time, repeated episodes like that may strain your circulatory system and increase your stroke risk, and there's something else to consider. Papaya also contains compounds that may interact with certain medications, particularly blood thinners and drugs that affect the heart or liver. While it's rare, it's still worth being cautious, especially if you're already managing multiple conditions. Enjoying papaya now and then is fine for most people, but moderation is key. If you've ever felt unusually tired or unsteady after eating it, your body may be telling you something. Next, we'll look at a fruit that's often eaten fresh and juicy, but its natural sweetness can quietly put stress on your brain's most delicate blood vessels. They're soft, juicy, and easy to digest, making them a go-to fruit for many older adults. A ripe pear can feel like the perfect snack. Light, refreshing, and gentle on the stomach. But beneath that sweet, delicate texture is something worth paying attention to, especially if you're watching your blood sugar or blood pressure. Pears are high in natural sugars, particularly fructose. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, the way your body handles sugar changes with age. After 60, insulin sensitivity tends to decline, which means your body may take longer to bring blood sugar levels back to normal after eating. That can lead to spikes, especially when pears are eaten alone or on an empty stomach. You might not feel anything at first, but those repeated sugar surges can slowly damage the lining of your blood vessels, increase inflammation, and reduce circulation to the brain over time. These are all subtle changes that raise your long-term risk of stroke without making much noise along the way. Another point to consider is how fast you eat a pear. Because they're soft and sweet, it's easy to consume one quickly, without the fiber really having a chance to slow down sugar absorption, and if you're pairing it with nothing else, that sugar enters your bloodstream fast. To be clear, pears can still be part of a healthy diet. Just try to eat them alongside something with protein or fat, like a few nuts or a slice of cheese to slow digestion and keep your blood sugar stable. Next, let's move to a fruit that often comes in cans and lunch boxes. Sweet and nostalgic, but not as harmless as it seems. There's something comforting about a ripe, juicy peach. It reminds many of us of summer afternoons, homemade pies, or those little fruit cups we packed in school lunches. But while peaches can be a healthy choice when eaten fresh and in moderation, the way they're often served today can quietly raise your risk of stroke. Fresh peaches are naturally sweet, but when they're canned, things change. Many canned peaches are stored in heavy syrup, which adds a significant amount of refined sugar to each serving. Even the ones labeled light syrup or no sugar added often contain concentrated fruit juice, which still causes your blood sugar to rise quickly. For older adults, this sugar spike can be more than just an energy crash. It can strain your blood vessels, increase arterial inflammation, and, if repeated over time, raise your stroke risk significantly. And because the fruit is soft and easy to chew, it's easy to eat more than one serving without realizing it. Even fresh peaches, if very ripe, can have a high glycemic index, meaning they affect blood sugar more quickly. And for those managing blood pressure or taking medications that affect fluid balance, the added sugar from canned or syrupy versions can make things worse. If you enjoy peaches, choose fresh or frozen ones without added sugar and be mindful of the portion. And remember, just because it comes in a small plastic cup doesn't mean it's harmless. Now, let's finish with a fruit that's often found in energy bars and health mixes but may carry more sugar than most desserts. You might not eat them every day, but figs, especially dried ones, have become popular in granola bars, healthy snacks, and upscale cheese platters. They're often praised for being high in fiber, potassium, and antioxidants. And while that's all true, there's another side to this story. Especially if you're over 60 and trying to protect your brain. Dried figs are incredibly dense in natural sugar. Just 2 or 3 can contain more sugar than an entire slice of cake. Because the water has been removed, what you're left with is a concentrated burst of sugar that hits your bloodstream fast, without the hydration or volume of fresh fruit to slow things down. For older adults, these rapid sugar surges can be risky. Your blood vessels become more sensitive with age. High sugar loads can lead to inflammation, trigger blood pressure fluctuations, and contribute to the development of arterial plaque, all of which quietly raise your stroke risk over time. There's also the issue of portion control. Figs are small, chewy, and delicious. It's easy to eat 5 or 6 without thinking twice. That's a lot of sugar in just a few bites, and if you're also eating other sweet snacks during the day, it all adds up fast. Fresh figs, when available, are a better option. But they're still sweet, so moderation is key. If you enjoy dried figs, try pairing them with a small handful of nuts or a slice of cheese to balance the sugar load and slow absorption. Now that we've covered all 9 fruits, you might be wondering, do you have to give them all up? Not at all. But knowing how they affect your body after 60 can help you enjoy them more safely and confidently. You don't have to give up fruit to protect your brain. The key is knowing which ones to limit, how much to eat, and when to eat them. After 60, your body changes, and so should your habits. Small tweaks like pairing fruit with protein or choosing fresh over dried or canned can make a big difference in how your heart and brain respond. Remember, even healthy foods can work against you if they're not right for your body anymore. You deserve to enjoy what you eat without unknowingly putting your health at risk. So take what you've learned today and use it to make smarter, gentler choices. Your brain will thank you, and so will your future self. If this video helped you understand fruit in a new way, give it a like. Share your thoughts or experience below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to Health 304 for more simple science-backed tips to stay sharp, strong, and healthy every day. Take care. We're with you every step of the